Hey guys, so today I'm going to give you an update on my immigration situation here, where I just got the right to work and a new 5-year residency because my husband became a Spanish citizen at the end of last year. So today we're paying a tasa, which is for the fingerprints. This is probably the most confusing part of the steps of immigration once you get here, and I've already done it many times. It's where you fill out the Modelo 790-012. So the 790-12, and the fee has to be paid in a bank at the counter, in cash or with a bank account if you have a bank account at the same bank during certain hours. Or if you can find the right bank, you will be able to find an ATM which will allow you to pay tasas or taxes at it, and that is the method that we're going to use today. So I'm going to turn the phone around and explain to you what it is that we're going to do. Okay, so in Zaragoza, the bank that we use for this process is this bank here, Caja Rural de Teruel. We do not have a bank account here. We use ING, but basically we went to an ATM and we got out cash. And then now, go ahead. You do operations sin tarjeta, which means operations without a card. Pay taxes with a barcode, código barras. Now we're going to scan the barcode. You hopefully saw that red band go across. Now we're going to put in how much money we're going to pay, which is 1608. Enter my NIE. My names. Now we're going to put the money in.
Dollar for money.
It will give us the change, and it will print out a receipt. If you go inside to do this, they will stamp it, keep a paper, give you back a paper, and then once we go to immigration, which I'm going to do tomorrow, I will give them one of these papers. So the reason I'm referring to page 1, page 2, or page 3, or multiple pieces of paper is because the whole form is 3 pages long when you print it out. And you keep one for yourself, you give the bank one, and then you give immigration one, unless you use the ATM. If you use the ATM, then you attach the receipt that's going to come out of the ATM with your paperwork, and that's what you give to immigration. And then at immigration, they will keep a form, and you will keep a form, and the bank never gets a form. They get that they scan the barcode and print a receipt, and that's their records. They don't get one of these papers. There's 3 papers here in this stack. There's 3 papers in that stack. So now we have the change. That's it. Tomorrow I'll come on here and I'll be at immigration getting my fingerprints done. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about the process that I did. Basically, I have work permission or immigration temporary residency with exceptional circumstances because I'm married to a Spanish citizen. There's 2 processes that you've historically been able to do, which has been through EU citizenship or through Spanish citizen. They have 2 different processes. Normally, up until this year, you could use the EU citizen process of immigration, being married to an EU citizen, which a Spanish citizen is an EU citizen, but they recently changed it. It goes into effect in May that you have to use the Spanish citizenship process only. The differences are that with the EU citizen process, you have to show income, a certain amount of money, but no background check. With the Spanish citizenship process, you don't have to show any money in your bank account, and there's no income requirements, but you have to have background checks. So for me, since I've been living in Spain already for 4 years, and before this I lived in Mexico, I was able to get my background check from Spain and from Mexico very easily. I know it's not easy to do from the United States. So the Mexico process for background checks is done online, and the documents do not have to be apostilled. So I printed it out. It cost a few dollars, and I literally took minutes to do. So this whole process has right now cost me about 30 euros, which is around $30. And so then it took about 10 days or so for me to get denied. And then I filed an appeal, and the appeal was successful, And within about 2 months, I had an approval. The approval came last week on Friday. On Friday, I went online. I made the appointment to get my fingerprints done, which is what you also do if you come here on an NLV or a DNV. You have to get your fingerprints done after you get here, and you have to make an appointment for that. And in the large cities, it takes a very long time to get that appointment. But here, I was able to get the appointment for 2 business days later. 2 and 3 business days later, I had 3 appointments available for this week, which is the week just after Friday, as you know. Today is, Tuesday? So my appointment is for tomorrow. By choice, I could have made my appointment on Monday. I chose the time that was best for me with my kids' school schedule. So I'm going there tomorrow, and I'm actually, before I go, planning on going online and making another appointment to pick up my card in 6 weeks, because I know that's what they're going to say. Come back in 6 weeks to get your card, because I've done this before in Zaragoza. In Murcia, it was ready in about 4 weeks, but I'm just going to make the appointment for 6 weeks from now, because last year when I did this, it took me a month to be able to get an appointment to pick up the card. I don't know why it was taking so long then, but because that happened, I'm going to go ahead and go online and try to make the appointment to pick up my card. Even though I haven't gone and even done the fingerprints yet, you make the appointments in advance. That's the way you hack the system a little bit. So for that tip, you can give me a little like and a subscription, please. And I will pick this back up tomorrow when I'm actually at immigration doing this stuff. Okay, so it's, what day is it? Wednesday? Immigration is right there. Immigration is right there. And basically what I've done is on your approval sheet, you have a list at the bottom of the different documents that you need to bring, and you have to make a copy of them. So I've done all of that. We walked in to get our pictures made. We didn't have to have an appointment.
Look over here.
Paid the fee yesterday, and then I also have copies of basically every document that proves my existence, every flow of passports to prove all of my different name changes from being married, being born, all of this stuff. Also my husband and all of his various passports with his different name changes because of our documents being in different names. So anyways, I have all of that with copies of all of that, everything that backs up my appeal, and everything that they told me to have, so with copies. So basically we go in here, we can't use our phones, and then we'll stand in line, they'll call a number, and we'll do the stuff with the people, and then we'll leave, and I'll come back in 5 to 6 weeks to pick up a card, which I already made the appointment for. So that's going to be it, and I will let you know how it goes after we're done. Okay guys, so I'm fresh out of that place, and oh my gosh, this wait for at this appointment is always the worst part of this process. The appointment itself takes about 15 minutes for one person, but then the wait is like basically waiting for the doctor in the United States. I got here 20 minutes early and still had to wait 1 hour after I entered. A few things that came up which I want to address in case they help anybody else is that, number one, they at first didn't want to let my husband in because he didn't have an appointment, but we just said, that I needed the help with the Spanish, even though I got through the whole appointment without needing help with the Spanish, but he was there just in case. Secondly, because I already have an NLV that's already been renewed twice, this was a new process where I was switching my visa to a different type of card, and there was confusion on that because most people come in with this specific visa or residency status that I'm getting. They come in without documents, no documentation. They have no legal status in Spain. So I have a legal status in Spain, but I'm changing it to a different one. So there was confusion on that, and they let me know that, well, they said that they were going to annul my card, right? But they but they did return my card to me. So I don't know if it's valid or whatever, but I don't know. But anyways, I have a receipt. With the receipt that they give you after the appointment, you can actually enter and exit the country. It's kind of like a paper version of your card. Even though they don't tell you that, I already know that I can do that because I've done it before. So anyways, we're finished, and they said come back in a month, which, as you know, I already made my appointment for 5 weeks from now. Maybe I'm going to go home and see if I can move it up some. The other thing is that on the paper, you will have a lot number, LOTE, and you use that to see if your card is ready. You can look it up online, just in case your card gets ready before your appointment and an appointment happens to be available. It's a way of checking to see if your card is ready yet. So anyways, we're going in here to eat, and I'm totally done with this for now. Bye.
Really exhausted.